Alright.
Project laboratory was taken shape and done. Here, there would be some of the most powerful test rigs and accurate measuring instruments available from any railway in the world.
Right.
Derby, famous for its technical advances, became the centre of rail research.
Derby Tech was...
I'm just recording the date there and the time and that, because I'm just created a work of art by accident. I'm just printing out that picture. I just had the camera on there. I'm printing out another picture to see how if it prints out okay. It's one of my digital. It's my version of digital art. You know, my own things I've had for years on me, well, drawn for years, right? But I'm just printing it into a photograph, you know, on glossy paper, right? Because I've just printed one of my drawings out. It's a digital picture that's not very, you know, it's not amazing, but I did it a long time ago in college somewhere, like. And I printed it out, and it's meant to be the Earth and the Moon with a totally black background. And I don't know if my camera can capture this, like, but I printed out the photograph of the Earth and the Moon. And you know, it's on a photographic paper instead of looking at it on a digital screen, which I'm used to, because I don't normally print my pictures out, to be honest, because it uses too much ink. Normally black ink, normally, like. But anyway, I print out this picture of the Earth and the Moon, right? And the crazy thing is, by accident, the printer has captured Earth shine. Meanwhile, my printer's gone mad. I think I've run out of black ink, basically. Oh dear, this one's all coming out red. It's an accident. Look at this. That's the picture. Yo, see, it's a lunarscape. And look, it's coming out red. My printer's doing... my printer's having problems. It's printing out things by accident. So I'm on backdrop there, like another work of art of mine, like you know, one of my works of art. I should zoom into that. You know, let's put it this way: I'm working like fuck. You know what I mean? But anyway, this printer is printing out by accident wrong, but by a freak of nature, because I know it's never going to do this again if I put the proper amount of ink in, you know what I mean? The ink is supposed to be black, jet black, you know what I mean? But freak of nature, the blue, the blackness has come out blue. So basically, it doesn't capture it right. But it's basically, it looks like the Earth is shining because it's giving off a blue hue, and the moon's in a kind of blackness still. You know, it's as you can see, the moon is, you know, in a blackness, and as I go to the Earth, it's kind of blue. And so the Earth is shining by accident. So these are freak works of art, you know, in the printed matter, because I'm sure the ink won't work like that again, like. But yeah, if anyone wants to buy this picture, you know, I'm going to be, I think as an artist, I'll sell these pictures as prints, and I'll guarantee that can't be duplicated, that Earth shine. I don't know what the hell that happened, like. Honestly, you've got to see the photograph itself to see it. It's got this blue glowing around the Earth, and it goes black where the moon is, like. But you know, and this one's, oh, it's just flipped out. So I've got to change the ink. It's a one-off, like, isn't it? So anyway, yeah, I'll sign this picture. You know, I've documented the date, haven't I? But I'll sign this picture with a gem marker, like, kind of thing. And if anyone wants to buy it, like, you know, one-off work of art, like, so I might die tomorrow. By the way, I'm going to the Isle of Man tomorrow. I might get hit by a bike. Dear me. Anyway, yeah, just thought I'd just do this video, just to show you I'm still working as an artist. I mean, you know, I'll try and print out these pictures properly. Oh well.
British Rail's reputation was badly damaged. Public confidence in railways was reaching an all-time low.
This is bad.
Accidents, freak accidents. Look, that's gone mad. That's just like, oh man, it's fucking Jade Rabbit's camera gone faulty.
Yeah.
Which was in an old doorway just outside of my club.
I know that Fiona has talked to you about the club and what your hopes are for this thing. Now, I tell you what, it's very difficult, isn't it? I mean, after all, this is the Antiques Roadshow, and this was done on April the 12th this year, so it's a little bit difficult. When you think of Banksy, you think of his work. You can't think of him because nobody knows who he is. Well, not exactly, shall we say. Now, it's called Mobile Lovers, I believe.
Correct, yeah.
And it looks to me like they're in a very tight embrace, very intimate indeed, and yet they're both on their mobile phones, presumably texting somebody else altogether.
Or they may be texting
each other in a sort of weird way. I mean, Banksy plays games like that, doesn't he?
That's right.
With disassociation, disinterest, and alienation. What does he actually do them with? It looks to me like a sort of stencil, or he's used a spray, obviously, and he's masked some of it off and sprayed it around. Do you think it's good?
I think it's excellent. It's got a good message to it. And it is, especially with today's youth. So I think that's the message that he's probably getting across.
Now, he also makes studio art, doesn't he? And that's presumably where his income comes from, because he won't issue certificates
No,
of authenticity for his street art, will he?
not at all.
Now, that's the crucial thing, isn't it, when it comes to value? Because you can't easily sell or buy a Banksy if it hasn't got a certificate of authenticity from what's called pest control, this being his website that you can apply to for the certificate.
Right.
And it comes in the form of a fake £10 note, I believe, with Princess Di on it. Is that right?
That's right.
Torn in half, and the pest control keep one half, and then the owner of the artwork keeps the other half, and say that they will always match like that.
That's correct.
And that's how they guarantee the authenticity. The main reason that he states he won't give a certificate of authenticity to his street art is that it's actually illegal. And, you know, in America, I think the mayor of New York tried to issue a warrant for his arrest, but couldn't because they didn't know who he was.
That's correct.
This kind of thing. So, in other words, he keeps a very low profile about that. Well, you know, without that certificate, it's hard to value a Banksy, because who's going to buy one without one?
This one's different and a bit unique in the fact that it's got its own letter of reference from Banksy himself to me. And I've got the letter in my pocket, which he gave me. You know,
Yeah,
so.
you want to hang on to that tight.
Oh, yeah, you know that.
Yeah. I mean, there's been quite a lot of publicity about this. Has anyone come to you and said, I will give you some money for this, or anything?
I've got one on the table at the moment for 400,000.
That's a firm offer, and you're
That's a
convinced
firm
it's real?
offer. That's on the table at the moment. And there's been 2 or 3, one was $1 million plus, to talk about it and take it further in a discussion.
Of course, the downside of putting it in an auction, if it doesn't sell, you've got nothing for the boys.
That's right.
Always the same with auction. You hear about the great successes, you don't hear about the things that die. Now, I've looked into this, and I've seen that quite a lot of Banksy street art doesn't sell.
Right.
I did talk to some auctioneers, and I was told that, realistically speaking, without a certificate, it's going to be worth a tenth of what it might be if it had one.
Right.
Now, that's what they said. Now, the other thing they said was, if it did have a certificate, this street art, what would they estimate it at? And they were talking at figures, you know, around the sort of figures that you've already been offered.
Right.
So I think that you're basically in the right area. If you have had an offer of something like £400,000, my instinct would be, better safe than sorry, take it.
Right, thank you.
I hope that's what you wanted to hear, but it's hard to know.
It's what I want to hear, but at the end of the day, I've also got to be seen to
Get best value.
get best value because we're a charity.
I wish you the very best of luck. It's a great thing.
Well, thank you for your advice.
And it's simply irrational weather. I can't even hear.